Aquarius. I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot message. These are general readings, so they might not resonate with everybody. If it doesn't resonate with you this week, come back next week and maybe I can help you then. These are self-love readings designed for spirit to showcase areas where we might be letting ourselves down, or areas where we can be more authentic with ourselves. Part of self-love is self-acceptance, and we can't really accept parts of ourselves that we're not willing to acknowledge. I do a 6-card spread. The 7th card would be a spirit message. I shuffled a little bit before. A little more won't hurt. Okay, so let's get started. In this first position, Aquarius, we have how you're feeling now. In this second position, we have something that Spirit wants you to prioritize. Maybe your needs, maybe feelings, maybe things they want you to do. In this third position, we have an area where Spirit is saying you might have put something on the back burner, and now it's time to take that off and pay more attention to it. In this fourth position, we have something that Spirit wants you to acknowledge to be more authentic with yourself. In this fifth position, we have something you need to let go of. In the sixth position, something that Spirit wants you to acknowledge, maybe something you don't know about. And in the seventh position, it's going to be Spirit message. I am going to clarify later on with the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. Beautiful cards. I will show you everything as we go. So let's go. Aquarius, right now, I get this feeling that you are, sorry, coffee hiccups. I get this feeling that you are going through some kind of awakening. It could be your spiritual awakening. Hello, if I'm your first tarot message. But right now I get this feeling that Spirit is really bringing new ideas into your life. I really get the sense that you are changing your perceptions or your understanding or your beliefs about things. I really like that. Imagine, if you will, a mountain, right? Lots of peaks, like if you were to draw a mountain like Mount Everest. Now imagine that at every single one of those peaks, you drew a little person. Now imagine that you're one of those people. And imagine that you are standing much, much lower than somebody else on your peak. And somebody else is sitting much, much higher. This is like an analogy about perception, right? So if you're standing lower in your peak, even though you're on the same mountaintop as somebody else, you might not be able to see what they're seeing. I learned in biology that we don't recognize color the same way. Because you taught me that this color is green, I will always verbalize that it's green. But in my eyesight, I might see blue. And you would never know, and I would never know, and no one would ever know. When we talk about the Ace of Swords, we talk about this gaining perception, this gaining of clarity, right? So you might not be standing on the same peak as this person, but you at least can recognize that you both can't see the same thing. You'd be surprised how many people wouldn't understand that. It's the same thing with life experience. Say that when you were young, you had a normal childhood. Your parents liked you. They weren't mean to you. They didn't yell at you. They bought you toys. You had regular friends, and you did regular things like summer camp. Amazing. Lucky. You are probably not watching tarot messages if that happened to you. Say that you were from a very young age neglected, and that your family couldn't take care of you, and so you went into foster care. And that you grew up in foster care, and that you were never adopted by anybody, and that you've come out of that process. You, as a normal kid, and you, as a person who, struggled developmentally as they were growing up because they didn't have the support that they needed, don't have the same perspective. But a lot of people don't recognize that. A lot of people just think, well, I think this way, so other people think just like me. And what I'm getting from this sense, Aquarius, is that you are learning about perspective and that things come to us differently. I love that. That's enlightenment. That's evolution. That's change. It's awakening. It's amazing. What Spirit wants you to prioritize right now is this King of Swords. I really like this because you have that Ace of Swords. So what I'm thinking now is that Spirit wants you to recognize all of this new information, all of these downloads, which is what we call it, and make movements based on what you're learning now. My cats are really getting into it, sorry. Movement towards these ideas. So the King of Swords is somebody who has established their desires, right? So like with the King of Wands, he's very passionate. So he knows exactly what he wants and he's going to go after it. The King of Swords has worked his way through all of these issues. He's very balanced and he's very calm. So this isn't somebody who's like, oh my God, I have an idea, sprints off to you know, tackle it or whatever. This is somebody who's like looking, analyzing, rationalizing, comprehending, and making a decision based off of those things. The King of Swords is not emotionally immature. So these ideas that are coming to you now, universe says this is the foundation of what I want you to continue to build on. Because this isn't the Page of Swords. This isn't the Princess of the Cup, the Princess or the Knight. This is the King of Swords. He builds his kingdom on this clarity. Aquarius, I'm very excited for you. Imagine if you just changed and you were like this king. Ooh, ooh, tingles. Yeah, something the Spirit says you're not dealing with right now, but they want you to deal more with. You've put it on the back burner. Spirit is saying, take it off. It's done simmering. It needs your attention. More swords. Aquarius, I know that you're about air energy, but I think this is really about this transition. This is the Six of Swords. At the top it says science. What I always get with this card is different ideas, right? So we have 6 swords all pointing towards the same direction. And I always think about like choices and what's available to you. My sister loves to Google things. So she Googles everything all the time. And that's kind of how I feel about this card, especially now in like a more of a modern age. Are there things that you want to learn about? Are there things that you're interested in? So maybe, you know, you just started like a class and that class, you know, taught you about something you didn't know about. And then from there, you're like, well, if I didn't know about that, what else don't I know about? And then you go for yourself to discover all this new information. This could be research that you're doing on spirituality or how to be your highest self. Or, I mean, you could be watching this video to get a better understanding of self-love and how to be in touch with yourself. This is just research. This is just you filling out what is already coming towards you. I love this. It's beautiful. This is so much creativity. There's so much thinking. There's so much space. I love this. Okay, in the position that the universe wants you to acknowledge and express to be more authentic with yourself, we have victory. Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is a lot of growth, Aquarius. I don't want to say anything or be judgmental in any kind of way, but I'm Pisces. And so I do have a little bit of knowledge about the sign before me, and Aquarius tends to be kind of impulsive. They like to do whatever they want to do. And same. Seriously, same. That's like my saying is like, I only want to do what I want to do. I don't want to do what I don't want to do. Fair. And everybody's like that. But universe is saying that this transition that you're going through right now is probably entirely with yourself. Just because we're on this little side note and tangent, I just want to add one more thing. When you do start to change, when your perceptions, when your boundaries, when your limits change, you will receive pushback. You will. No, you definitely absolutely will. I used to drink and smoke and do all these things. And when I decided that that wasn't the person I wanted to be anymore, I lost almost all of my friends. But that's good because then you know who's actually your friend and who's just there because you are old enough to buy alcohol. Right? That's good to know. Good to know. I just wanted to put that off to the side and it's totally fine. So don't worry about that. You are victorious. This learning, this transition, this research, whatever you're going through is elevating you. It's bringing you closer to your higher self. You're leveling up, Aquarius. Damn. In an area that Spirit wants you to let go of is this sense of dominion. Now, this is the Two of Wands, and this isn't traditionally what I get with this. But I feel like, in this particular sense, that there was someone, maybe it was you, who thought that they owned something, or that they had something that was theirs, the dominion, right? I always think about The Lion King. You know, the dad says, everything the light touches is ours. Dominion, what belongs to you. And there could have been this sense that something did belong to you. And maybe that sense is, like I was saying about transitioning, changing who you are, right? So we all grow up and we all just decide at certain points, like, what we want for ourselves. And like I said, when I decided to stop drinking and doing drugs all the time, I lost a lot of friends. But it could be that it was my sense of who I thought that I was. So maybe I was thinking that I actually am this swearing, mean, drinking person. And when it came time for me to let go of those beliefs of who I was, that was the hardest part. So dominion, what you believed before, Aquarius, was for you, isn't anymore. Because now you're going through this ascension. So maybe before you were on a very low vibration, maybe before you had addictions, maybe before you made bad choices, and maybe that's just kind of how you felt yourself as, or who you thought you were. But that's not who you are, Aquarius. You're coming through this whole transition. So what was for you before isn't yours now, and you need to let that go. One of the things I always had a problem with was my anger. Again, I didn't have like a supportive upbringing, so things frustrated me very easily. But also because I didn't have a supportive environment, I was in charge of myself from a very, very young age. And so couple the fact that I'm not getting support with the fact that adults often try to tell me what to do without providing that support. It's no wonder that I fought everyone all the time. I got my first fight in 4th grade. In fairness, this dude touched my butt. And I let him have it. Not my butt, my fists. I was very mad. But after that, it was like kind of an all-time thing. When it came time for me to change, I had to let go of that anger. And it was unfortunate because, it was good. Because you don't want to be driven by anger. But it had been driving me for years and 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 years. And when I realized I had to let go of the anger to change, that was scary. It was. Because my anger had kept me safe for such a long time. And to say, I acknowledge that I need safety, but that I can't get it from unhealthy coping habits was really difficult. That was the hardest part. That was the hardest part. Not drinking anymore. That was basically just a decision. One day I was drinking, the next day I woke up, I was like, I'm not going to do it anymore, and then I didn't. But there was not a decision made that I'm not going to be angry anymore. I'm not going to wake up tomorrow and just not be upset. I have dealt with a lot of how I've grown and how I live, and I've established very healthy boundaries for myself. But push me to that edge of that boundary, force me to come over that boundary, and I can go back very quickly to the same person that I used to be. The mean, the loud, the over the top, we're not perfect. We're not. So whatever you thought was for you, maybe that anger, maybe sadness, maybe drugs, alcohol, addiction, maybe just stupid thinking, that's not yours, and you're gonna have to choose to let it go. We can only move through what we're willing to acknowledge. I acknowledged my anger was a huge problem. Actually, Spirit acknowledged it for me by giving me a dream. In the dream, my mom left me at my cousin's house. And as soon as my mom was gone, my cousins, they tied me to a chair. Put my hands behind my back and they tied me to this chair. And they used a butter knife to scrape my skin off. It was fucked up. And it left this huge red open space that burned. My dreams are really vivid. They were really, really vivid. I can smell, I can taste, I can touch, I can hear, sounds, feel, whatever. And it burned. And I was so mad that I left and I went looking for my mom. But instead, this flight attendant, because my mom apparently was at the airport, got in the way. And so what I did was I shoved her down. I just was shoved her down. And then I look over and just randomly there is a candle and a butter knife. And so I pick up the butter knife and I burn it on the candle to make it really hot. And then I start to peel up that flight attendant's skin like my cousins had done to me. That's fucked up. That flight attendant didn't do anything. She was just like, you can't go into the airport without a ticket. And I was like, and it was a very ugly, very exposing way to show me that I often hurt people who didn't hurt me because of my hurt before. And I know we all know that saying, hurt people hurt people. Well, did you know there's more to that saying? Healed people heal people. I would not say that I am healed, but I'm healing. And this is my opportunity to share that with you guys, the lessons I've learned. Releasing what's not good for you anymore because you are on a different path. I wish I could show it to you. It's crazy. Something the universe wants you to acknowledge, though, Aquarius, is that you are guarded. There's a lot of sword energy here, which I believe is your energy because you're an air sign. But I also believe that these are movement cards. This is ascension. But if you're not careful, you will block this for yourself because Spirit is saying you are guarded right now. Hurt people are hurt. If you're hurt, you're guarded. Okay? I like this because she has backed herself up to this water, all of this emotion, right? But she's not dealing with the emotions. She's got her back to them, but she also has a blindfold on. So she's not dealing with what's in front of her or what's behind her or what's in front of her. She has these two swords as if to say, if you come near me, I don't care who you are, I will cut you. I will take my little knife and I will peel up your skin. Okay? This is the universe telling you to acknowledge yourself in this, Aquarius. If you want this movement forward, you're gonna have to put down the swords. Message from Spirit is the Prince of Swords. Message from Spirit indicates that there is movement. Okay? I think you're moving. Not like physically, I mean, you could be moving, but I really feel like spiritually and astrologically, or what's not astrologically? Whatever we are, right? Celestial movement. I'm a celestial being, right? This is great. I really love this for you, Aquarius. We're going to go ahead and clarify, although I feel like things are pretty simple. Universe says that right now you're in this stage of learning new things. New beginnings for you. New recognition. New understanding. A new level. You got to watch out for the omens, okay? When we have like spiritual ascension or spiritual growth, it often comes with enhanced psychic abilities. And I don't mean like mind reading. I just mean that you are much more in touch with your feelings and your intuition. And so a lot of that comes with you being able to recognize things around you that you might not have recognized before. So whatever it is for you that serves as an omen, focus on that. Look out for those. It's the universe telling you you're headed in the right direction. I always think butterflies. And I know people think like, oh, butterflies are great and blah, blah, blah. Butterflies are cute. But whenever I see one, I always think I'm going in the right direction. That's an omen for me. The universe wants you to move. Take this information, take this knowledge, and build your kingdom with it. The universe is saying that you need to prioritize this King of Swords. Can't make it up, Aquarius. Sorry. Can't make it up, Aquarius. It says honoring your energy. This whole spread of swords, this is all your energy. Your energy is who you are, but you can change. So honoring your energy is going with the flow of your ascension. As we grow, we should learn more and change. That's just basic. Universe is saying you honoring your energy, all of this swords energy by moving forward into a new day. Let's look at the science. I said researching, looking more into it. So if the universe is giving you clues or hints or ideas, put forth effort and time into like studying more of that. Grounding yourself also. If you are looking into spiritual practices, meditation is a huge way to spend time with yourself, clear your mind, get in contact with your feelings, access, you know, memories, dealing with things. Meditation is really helpful, and grounding can help you with that. You can meditate in a lot of different ways. You don't have to sit there and go, You can do like walking meditations, which is my favorite thing. It's just practicing mindfulness while I'm walking. I love this. Okay, so here we go. Aquarius, I really believe that whatever it is, you've had problems in the past. Everyone has. Like, no, that's not very helpful, tarot reader lady. You've had problems in the past, and because of that, you have built these habits where you give parts of yourself away daily. And this message from me and from Spirit is to reshape those habits so that we're getting back and then taking those new habits into the future. Okay, so if you were like me and you were very angry, you weren't very helpful, well, we're changing that now. We're going to be much helpful. We're going to be much less angry. We're going to be really nice in the future, and we're going to take that with us. I would never go back to being the way that I was. I was embarrassing. I'm embarrassed by the way that I acted. I'm embarrassed by the things that I said. People sometimes will be like, oh, you remember when you told me this? And I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God, I'm so sorry that I spoke like that. Who the fuck? Oh, ew. Oh. Okay, and then universe says something they need you to acknowledge is a sense of victory, the sense of ascension, the sense of leveling up. It will be slow. And you're gonna have to go through all of these emotions. This card says slow but steady. Okay? I think that's gorgeous. And truth. This ascension is gonna bring you closer to what your truth is and what your purpose is. Beautiful. Okay, and then dominion. Yeah, okay. So we said you had to let go of the sense of what you think is for you. And it says changes. Bring change to the dominion. So before I was queen of mean land, and now I am princess of passive aggressive land. No, I'm not. I'm not passive aggressive. I'm still like outright aggressive. I'm just really nice about it. So like instead of saying like, why the fuck didn't you pick up your own shit? I don't have to clean up after you. Like that's not my fucking job. I'm not your mom. Now I just be like, I'm gonna clean the living room later. Can you pick up your stuff so that when I come through, it's not as hard for me? I'm better at things now. I've grown. Ooh, we have not talked about this, but we should. Because I feel like we're in the right direction. But please acknowledge this feminine energy, Aquarius. Feminine energy is about nurturing yourself, nurturing those around you, and understanding feelings, okay? If you have feelings, tap into them, do some research about them, acknowledge them. Because that's part of self-love. That's actually the biggest part of self-love. The biggest part of self-love is like knowing yourself well enough to know what you want. Getting to know yourself well enough to know what you want. And that's about feminine energy. Feminine energy is really going in and sitting inside and like really sitting with those emotions. All our emotions have a place, they have a reason. You know, they're good for things. So acknowledging them and letting them out, that's a huge part of self-love. We had the Two of Swords that said that you might be guarded. You might be cutting yourself off from this. You have to acknowledge those emotions, that feminine energy. I told you, you can't turn your back on your emotions. You might need some sacred space, honestly. If this is hard for you, if this is challenging, you can always seek out therapy or professional help. But if that's not something you're interested in, because most people tend to have like this negative connotation of what therapy is, you can take meditation or you can take classes and you can learn online, or you can just find space that's quiet and like, you know, where you're comfortable. Find a sacred space and just sit with yourself, Aquarius, really figure out how you're feeling. Because we said the universe is calling you this Prince of Swords. Oh, I'm sorry. The sacred space over the Two of Swords, it says it's going to be a struggle. But that's okay. That's okay. Because I mean, like, either way, we're struggling, right? We're struggling being upset or being somebody we don't like. And we're going to struggle to be better and be someone we do like. Pick your struggle. Everything is hard. Pick your hard, right? Okay, and then the universe is saying to you, Aquarius, that this change is coming. This movement is coming because you showed up as the Prince of Swords. The universe wants you to practice using your discernment with yourself, okay? Well, with everybody all the time. Discernment's very helpful. But with yourself, go into that sacred space, sit down with your feelings, decide which ones you like and which ones you don't. Maybe you're angry too, Aquarius, and you're just sitting there thinking like, man, I'm so freaking tired of being so mad all the time. So tired of just like feeling like this. Sit with yourself and say, okay, what do we have to do to not feel like this anymore? We're draining ourselves. That's what I was doing. I really was. And that would just increase my irritation, because then I'd be mad at myself, and then something would stress me out, and then I'd just see spots. I really would just see spots. I would get so mad. I chose for myself to let those things go, and then I went to therapy. I didn't go to therapy so somebody could tell me all the things that are wrong with me. I know what's wrong with me. Thank you. Oh, difference really quickly between therapist and psychologist. I do love therapists. I love therapy because I can go and just word vomit. This is all the things I've went through. And then they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they're crying. And you're like, calm down. But then a psychologist is somebody who actually will give you plans or ideas or processes to help change those coping mechanisms. And I've learned a lot in therapy. In my visiting psychologists. One of the things that I learned was like that sitting with yourself. I learned meditation in college and stuff like that, but I learned that you should figure out where those feelings come from. So when I have anxiety, it's in my tummy, but if I don't acknowledge it soon enough, it gets into my throat, and then I have like this cramp in my tummy, and then this feeling I have to throw up. That's my anxiety. I wouldn't have known that if I hadn't seen a psychologist. I always thought that I was just sick. I just think I throw up all the time. Why? I don't know. Are you anxious? I don't know. You are. Oh, wow. Who knew, right? Okay. And then this creativity. Yeah. Okay. So just one more thing. We build these habits every day, and if you're anywhere near my age, you've been doing this for a long time. And it takes an equal amount of time to unlearn these habits. I'm not saying that by the time you're 60, you'll be, healed and perfect, but we can always help, right? Okay, so Aquarius, what I'm saying here for this recap is that you are ascending, baby. Oh my God. Like, you are really getting into this area of like learning things right now. Probably about yourself, probably about the way that we grow and the way that we change. And the universe is saying, hey, these lessons I'm giving you right now, you need to take those with you into the future. You need to become this King of Swords. Build your kingdom on these new things. And, they want you to acknowledge your victory in this, your ascension, okay? And the best thing about acknowledging what happens or what we go through is that we are spokespeople or role models for the universe. So say I'm very angry, or I was before, and then I decided to make that changed myself, and now I do these videos, and you see this video and you think, oh, I'm also angry, and you decide to change. And then you tell people, yeah, I'm really going through like this growth period. Like, I'm just learning a lot about myself and about other people and like how I should act and behave. And they're gonna see you, and they're gonna be like, shit, I'm like that too. And they're gonna think, I can change. If Aquarius could do it, I can do it too. We are always showing people how we live. That's a choice. You are being victorious, but you have to let go of the things the universe is saying is not for you anymore. And that's going to bring, it's going to be a struggle, it will. And you have to be not guarded, because if changes come for you and you have your swords up, you're just going to, they're not going to be able to get to you. But the universe says they want you to move forward. Prince of Cups, move forward. Prince of Swords. I really hope that it helped, Aquarius. If you have any questions, can you talk about anything, my email address is in the box below. Have a good day.